Hi, Namaste everyone. Today we will start chapter 10 from 10th standard, light, reflection and refraction. So my question, what is light? So what is light? Generally when this question is put, we say from 8th standard we have been studying about light. Light is a form of energy. So what makes us to say light is a form of energy without thinking for a second? Because light energy is very much required for the existence of life on the earth. All the green plants prepare the food only in the presence of sunlight. That is, sunlight is a form of energy that is required for the green plants to prepare food, which is converted into the chemical energy. Not only this, we can see from light energy, heat energy being produced, and we also make note of this. We have the solar panels, which produce electrical energy from the light energy. Again, many chemical reactions also takes place in the uh, presence of light energy. So all these are some instances where we can easily compare light as a form of energy. So let me put the definition of light in front of you. So this is the definition of light. So light is a form of energy that produces the sensation of sight. This is very important. So because of light energy, we are able to see the objects. So in a dark room, our sense organs of sight are eyes. Though we have eyes, if it is very dark, the room is dark, we cannot see the objects. So we can see only when the light is switched on. So light makes the things visible. So when the light falls on the objects, it gets reflected back. When it reaches our eyes, and we have the on the retina those cells which are receptor cells which will receive the light energy and then send the signal to the brain that converts the energy, I mean that signals to the images which we see. So light is the energy which causes the sensation of sight in us and all the other living beings on the earth. Okay, let me see, let me pick up some more as we go into this lesson. So luminous objects, you all know, you have been learning about this. So luminous objects, those objects which emit the light of their own, so those which produce the light of their own are called luminous objects. So those which do not produces the light, so we have some examples: sun, stars, and the lights, bulbs which we have on the earth are examples of luminous objects because they can produce the light on their own. They emit the light on their own. So what are non-luminous objects? Objects which do not emit the, most probably these non-luminous objects do not produce light, or they don't emit the light on their own. So they have the property of reflecting the light. That means when the light falls on these objects, the light gets reflected back. So such objects in our daily life we see. So most of the people get confused to say whether moon is luminous body or non-luminous body because it emits a brilliant from the moon we get brilliant light during the night time. So it is because of the reflection property, that is the surface of the moon reflects most of the light which is falling on it, so that moon appears more brighter and it is more close to the earth. So we confuse moon as a luminous body, but it is actually a non-luminous body which is just reflecting the sunlight. Some important points to remember about the light, I'll explain you as I read out these points. So why is light very important? Because first one is it causes the sensation of sight. So sensation of sight in us. Then if there is no light energy, though we have eyes, these sense organs of sight will not work. So light is very essential for the things to be visible or to be seen. So light is a form of energy. Yes, we have said the form of energy. Green plants prepare the food, and also even we can consider the energy that we get from the fossil fuels is also indirectly the solar energy, which is captured by the plants. So light is produced Light produces heat. Yes, we see this in our daily life. The sunlight which we receive also carries the heat energy. The sunlight produces the heat. Okay, then some characteristics, important characteristics of light. We will see these points. Okay. Okay, so light is a form of electromagnetic wave. So here there is a contradiction or a conflict about the nature of the light. So according to Newton, it's not according to Newton, but Newton encouraged, or we can say Newton's idea of corpuscular corpuscular theory. So light, when it is emitted from luminous objects, it is emitted in the form of small energy packets, which he called them as corpuscles. So these corpuscles, they interacted with the matter, and then they get reflected back, or when they pass through any object. So we can say when they enter into an optical medium, there is a change in the direction, which we say refraction. So he used this corpuscular theory to explain more about reflection and refraction. So, but before I mean, it happened in the 17th century during the same time or before Newton. So, Huygens has uh, proposed this, or he said light is of wave nature. So, it's also a theoretical one. Then his theoretical one was proved in 19th century by Thomas Young using double slit experiment. So there, so the properties of light, which we can say behaving the wave nature of the light, to the examples to show the wave nature of the light is diffraction and interference. These phenomena are observable by the light when it is propagating in the medium. So these diffraction and interference nature is shown only by the waves. So they have a strong point, or they prove that light is of wave nature. Later on in the 20th century, Einstein has once again considered light consists of energy particles, very minute energy particles which are massless, and he called them as photons. These photons, when they interact with the matter, so there is some amount of energy being exchanged. He used this concept to explain the photoelectric effect. So to explain the photoelectric effect, he considered the light to be made up of photons. But these photons, when they are very small, massless, so negligible in size, and when they travel in the medium, they travel at the speed almost equal to 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. So during that motion, they exhibit wave nature. So when they are moving or in a medium, when they're traveling in medium, these photons exhibit wave nature. But when they interact with the surface of metals, or when they interact with the surface of objects, there, so they exhibit the particle nature, photons. So this is of dual nature, wave nature plus particle nature. So light at present is of dual nature. So we need to accept that light is dual nature. So it shows both the particle nature as well as the wave nature. Light does not require any medium for its propagation. So we have seen that light travels from the sun, from the sun to the earth, uh, almost It is 1.5 into 10 power 11 meters, very very far. So that distance you don't have any eh, atmosphere in between, like you don't have any matter in between. This is all vacuum. So light travels in the vacuum. So, because from the sun light reaches the earth. So light does not require any medium. So light always travels in straight line. We can see that example we have been learning from our primary classes. Light travels in straight line with many activities. The formation of the shadows is an example. That means if light can bend and go, the shadows will not be formed. So light travels in straight line. The speed of light is very high or is maximum when it is traveling through vacuum. It is 3 to 10 power 8 meter per second. The speed of light depends on the nature of the medium. That means the speed of the light changes for medium to medium. So it changes for, it is different for different optical mediums. Speed of light is different for different optical mediums. Okay, we will see the next topic. So you know all this. Transparent, translucent, and opaque objects. Transparent means those objects are those transparent. If we say medium, the medium through which the light passes, an object through which light passes. So glass, water, acrylic sheets, these are all transparent sheets, transparent objects. Translucent, only a part of light. They allow only part of light. So opaque objects are those which do not allow any part of the light. So when our light interact with any body, so it is when light falls on a body, so some part of the light gets reflected back, some part of the light gets transmitted, and some part of the light gets absorbed by the material. So these three things happen. So one is reflection, another one is refraction, another one is absorption. This refraction we can also say it's a transmission. So transmission is allowing the light to pass through. So transparent bodies, most they reflect very less and absorb very less amount of energy, but they transmit maximum amount of light energy through them. Translucent translucent objects also do not reflect much, so they absorb as well as they allow a part of light. Opaque objects maximum they reflect as well as absorb the light, but they do not allow the light to transmit. So that is the difference between these three bodies. Okay, the next topic, I will discuss the next topic in the next session. Okay, thank you very much everyone. um, Stay home, stay safe. Bye.